Hello, Brookside families. It's Friday, and on Fridays we go on virtual field trips. So, last week I was thinking about the fact that, we didn't have a spring break and nobody could go on vacation. And so we were kind of bummed about that. So, we went on a trip to Disney World and we went to visit Disney World in California and Orlando. And I was thinking about the different kinds of trips that people normally take when we're not in quarantine. And one of the things that people love to do is go to Washington, D.C. to go to the Cherry Blossom Festival at this time of year in March and April, depending on when the cherry trees are blossoming that year. And so we're going to be going on a trip to Washington, D.C. when we get closer to Memorial Day. But that made me think about all the beautiful cherry blossoms that are blooming right now in Japan. So this week we are going on a trip to Japan. So as we do every week, Mr. Crouch is going to send you an email. And in that email is going to be a link to the virtual field trip folder for Japan. And what you're going to do, y todo aquí también está escrito en español. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on number 1. The 0 is just to watch this video again if you want to watch it again. And we're going to click on number 1, and that's going to take us through our field trip through Japan like we do every week. So let me show you what we have in store today. First of all, you're going to be able to have that virtual field trip log that we fill out before and after the trip, if you would like to do that, especially if you're going to be talking about it with a friend or family member after. That's a nice thing to do, to have something to discuss. And we're going to click right here, and this is going to show you where and when the cherry blossoms are blooming in Japan. So Japan has this really cool website where they actually show you for that year the different times of year and all the different areas where the trees are expected to bloom. So a lot of them happened in March, but if you go more north in Japan, there's some that are still coming. So that's pretty cool. And then a very interesting and fun thing that they do in Japan when it's the 2 weeks that the cherry trees are blossoming is called Hanami. And I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but this video teaches you about what they do in Japanese culture during this time, during what's called Hanami. And it's festivals and the foods that they eat and a little bit of history about it. And then the next thing is another video, and this one is it's from National Geographic Kids, and it's actually about how people go to the Cherry Blossom Festival in Washington, D.C., and you get to learn about the trees too, and why they only bloom for a couple times a year, and why we're not sure when they're going to bloom. So the science behind that is really cool on this National Geographic Kids. And then there's a little piece of history here. So Japan gave the trees as a gift to America, and they were planted in Washington, D.C. But there's a story about how they almost didn't get planted. So there's a little reading of history background for you. And then we get to the part where we're going on an actual field trip. And the first video tour I have for you is I just showed you the map of how the cherry trees blossom in parks all over Japan. Well, this video takes you to the best cherry blossom viewing festivals, and you get to see all of the different festivals, and it's 360, so you can look around, and it's really beautiful and relaxing to watch. The next thing that I found very interesting that I hope you like as well is this website that has a lot of photos of the cherry blossoms at night. So one of the things that they do in Japan during this time is people hang lanterns on the trees, and the government will light up, just like we do at Christmas time and the holidays, where the towns light up all of the trees on Main Street and so forth. That's what they do in Japan, but during cherry blossom time, so that you can see the trees lit up at night. And then the other cool thing about the cherry blossoms is they're very delicate. So there's a lot of little leaves and they fall off. And when it's a really windy day, or when the leaves are at the end, and they're really delicate toward the end of their blossoming time, it looks almost like snow because the leaves are pink and white. And when the wind blows, it looks like there's almost a blizzard, and then the floor will be covered, that looks like snow. So that is some beautiful pictures and a video of that. And then there's, we can't go to Japan without checking out Tokyo, the capital city of Japan. And you'll see in this video, it's a beautiful video that Airpano did with a helicopter tour of the city at nighttime. So you have the sunset and you have all the lights, and you'll see that it's very similar to New York City, which is very close to us. So last week we went to Disney World and Disneyland, which is in Orlando in California. But I bet a lot of people don't know that Tokyo is actually the first place outside of the United States that Disney ever opened a theme park. So there is a Disneyland Tokyo, and they have a really cool YouTube channel, and you can go there and watch videos and see how Disney magic translates to Japanese culture. So that's a fun website to explore. If you do nothing else with this field trip, do this one thing for me, because you're going to enjoy it. This evening, tonight, in big bold letters, I have it marked here, there is going to be a free live streaming of the Cirque Du Soleil show that was created for Tokyo Disneyland, and it's tonight at 8 o'clock. So what Cirque Du Soleil, which is a beautiful acrobatic and circus type of show, art and music combined, that show is, it goes all over the world. They have different shows, but this particular show called Zed was only made for Tokyo Disneyland. So they're re-releasing it in this premiere tonight. So if you click on the website, it's going to take you to this page, and you see here, premieres in 9 hours, April 17th at 8 o'clock. You can go to this page and watch the entire video like you're at the performance for free, instead of having to buy a ticket and go to the show. So that is the end of the trip. And then after the trip, as always, we have some activities that you can do if you'd like. Again, it's public, open to anyone. If you have a family member, a friend that you want any part of the world to go on this trip with you, go ahead and send them the link. They'll be able to access this with you, and you can talk with them using the discussion guide, or play with the bonus challenges, do something artistic and fun and different for the weekend. But I hope that you enjoy the very calming, peaceful, relaxing videos of the cherry blossom festivals all over Japan this week. Even though we can't really leave our houses, we can still enjoy the nature. So I appreciate you following along with us. We miss you. Keep doing your reading, writing, your math, and we'll see you next week. Bye.